Hi everybody and welcome to Heel Heat. My name is George Coles and on this episode we're reviewing New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong, episode 104. And if you haven't seen any of my shows before, we grade everything on a 1 to 5 scale. 1 is the worst, 5 is the best. Let's jump right in with it. The first match of the show has the DKC and Kevin Knight representing LA Dojo going up against the Heat Seekers, Matt Sigmund and Elliott Russell. I thought this was a good opening match, a good tag team match. The Heat Seekers are a really good tag team out of the Carolina area. I've known about them for quite a while. I believe they've been tagging almost a decade now. And I really enjoy what I'm seeing out of DKC and Kevin Knight, and what I'm seeing out of a lot of the LA Dojo guys. This is a good opener. DKC and Kevin Knight pick up the win. I'm going to give this one a 3. Now coming off of that, we get an unscheduled impromptu match with QT Marshall, who calls out a wrestler named Parker Lee, who I'm not familiar with. I believe if this wasn't my first time seeing him, I don't remember seeing him before this, but he looked pretty good. He wasn't bad. For the role he was given, which was basically he's a nobody that QT Marshall's going to try and make look bad, he did pretty good in the role. QT does pick up the win here. Afterwards, he gets on the microphone and says he can beat anybody in New Japan, and he calls out anybody from the locker room, which brings out Shota Umino, who I love. I love Shota. I think what they're doing and how they're bringing him along is so perfect. He is definitely going to be one of the top stars in New Japan in a very short period of time. Overall, the match and the call-out, I'm going to give that a 3. I thought it was good. The match was, I could have done without the match. They could have just had him come out and call out Shota and then back away cowardly, and it would have had the same effect as having the match did. But I guess getting Parker Lee on a big show like this, if he's somebody that they think highly of or want to see what he has, putting him out there for the fans to see how the fans react to him, not a bad idea either. Now from that, we go to our third match of the night, the second announced match, Mascara Dorada versus TJP. I really love the lead up to the story and how TJP has been stealing Mascara Dorada's mask. He even brought it with him when he went to New Japan on the while they were doing the G1. TJP was carrying Mascara Dorada's mask around with him. I like this. I didn't feel like this match was a feud ender, and I have a feeling that at some point it's going to come down to a hair versus mask match between the two. Because of the way this went down and how TJP untied the mask and eventually used it to his advantage to get the win, TJP does pick up the win. I'm going to give this a 3. Like I said, I don't think this is just a step along the feud. I want to see more energy out of the two. I want to see more hatred out of Dorada for a guy that's pretty much doing the most disrespectful thing you can do in Lucha Libre. He should be coming to try and murder this guy. So I want to see more. I want to see their next match. I want the action to ramp up. I want the violence to ramp up and eventually lead us to a hair versus mask match. I'm giving that one a 3 as well. From that, we go into the main event, which is Ren Narita and Kushida teaming up to go against the workhorsemen of Anthony Henry and JD Drake. Another team that for a long time has wrestled out of the Carolinas. Both guys have been on AEW programming, and I don't think in AEW you've quite seen how good they actually are, because this is a fantastic team. Both Henry and Drake are fantastic in-ring workers, a little bit different style. Drake is more of a big bruiser style, kind of in the vein of a Terry Gordy, or I guess you could say like a Stan Hansen in a little bit of ways. I would put him more like a Terry Gordy or a Dick Murdoch style wrestler, where Anthony Henry is more of like a kind of like a Dean Malenko kind of wrestler in that technical wizardry type style, almost like a Zack Sabre Jr., someone of that nature. Together, their pairing it works so well because their styles are similar enough that they look like they should be a team with each other, however different enough that they complement each other with what they're doing. And I really like Ren Narita, much like I said with Shota Umino at DKC and Kevin Knight. The guys coming out of the LA Dojo are all really good. And Ren Narita, they're kind of booking him like he's a the Shibata protege, like the next coming of Shibata, and he's shown flashes of this. And Kushida, he's just an absolute legend in the juniors division. This was a really solid main event. Narita and Kushida pick up the win, and it's kind of hard to say Narita and Kushida. Although it rhymes, it feels like you're stuttering through it. I thought this was a really good match. I'm giving that match a 4. Overall, I thought this was a good show. Not the greatest New Japan show that they've had, or a strong show that they've had. I'm usually really high on these. This is my favorite weekly wrestling show, and I say that all the time. This kind of felt like a down week. Overall, I'm going to give it a 3. Other than the main event, the 3 matches that we had on here did not feel that important. They were good, don't get me wrong. They're not bad matches, but there was not a sense of urgency. There was not, even in the match that they moved a storyline along with, it didn't feel like it was an important match on its own. It just felt like it was a cog in the machine instead of one of the main cogs in the machine. Seeing Ren Narita and Kushida versus Anthony Henry and JD Drake, absolute banger of a match. I thought it was really good, but it wasn't enough to carry the whole show, if that makes any sense. Again, overall, I'm going to give the show a 3. Still thought it was good. Still definitely recommend watching it. With all that being said, if you made it all the way to the end, let's put Workhorsemen in the comments, because I really love them as a team. Smash that like button, comment, share, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. We're very close to getting 1,000 subscribers, and I want to meet that goal by the end of 2022. I believe at the time I'm recording this, we're roughly 26 subscribers away, and we're at like 974. So if I could get to 1,000 by the end of the year, that's a personal goal I'm setting. So you guys can help by sharing, liking, commenting, all that good stuff, because that's going to help the algorithm. That's going to help me get there. With all that being said, my name is George Coles, and this has been my review of New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong, episode 104.